I started going to the Shannon Bar,
Mm-hmm.
where I reconnected with Margie for the first time in years. I was first brought there by my late friend Donna and her boyfriend. I didn't realize that Margie lived above the bar when I first started going there until we bumped into each other, and this was in 1979, 1980. Then you were allowed to drink at 18, and I was 18. Like Mommy Barrera, she would be hanging out of the window or whatever, and then one day Margie came downstairs and the friendship picked up and we began hanging out. She had gotten a job at the pizzeria up the road, like right on around the corner. She was like a server and a counter girl.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, she was gaga over this guy, Pez, from the Bland Projects, and his real name was Alexis. He was a DJ or something like that. And they stayed together for a while. I want to say she originally met him in high school. I don't know. In that time in 1982, at the age of 20, I went to Job Corps in upstate New York. And I quit my job at Pathmark Bakery to go finish my education and learn a skill so I could get the hell away from my house once and for all, because even when I got older, my stepfather never stopped coming for me. He was always like trying to have liberties with me or whatever you want to call it. And I went away to Job Corps and stuff, and then I met Omar, who his name was Kenneth Oates, and we hit it off and we started going doing stuff and hanging out and whatever. And after a visit home, we really started like amping up our relationship. So like one day in November of 82, I felt really bad. My asthma started acting up and I was fatigued. And after class, I only wanted to go to sleep. I went to the infirmary. I had the resident aide call the infirmary. I took a urine test, my vitals. They weren't even suspecting like pregnancy. They just thought that I was because I had never been upstate. It's real cold up there. And they sent me the next day. The nurse was like, "You need to come back to the infirmary," and that's when I found out I was pregnant.
Oh,
I was given the option
and this is with
to have a
Chris, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
I could have a state sponsored abortion
Mm-hmm.
or drop out of the program because I was in Callicoon, New York, and the nearest hospital in Sullivan County was like 30 miles. They had no way to provide me prenatal care. So I chose to leave the program. Omar had called me and he was like, Lita, is that baby mine? I said, I don't think so. I said, honestly, when we were together, I also had a boyfriend from the Bronx and whatever. So I left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard from him again. That was the last time. When I walked him back to the train station, that was it. Couldn't wait to tell Margie.
Mm-hmm.
I called the bar and I told her, and then like everybody else was there, Lynn, Judy, all of them. So
Mm-hmm.
they all found out. And then I came home, and I mean, everybody was happy. Everybody, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do anything when I went to the bar but like sip a soda, and Joe would get mad at me because people be trying to buy me drinks. I wasn't showing,
Oh,
and I
okay.
would be like, no, thank you, And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, hey, the guy's gonna buy you a drink, you gotta whatever. I said, look, just charge him for the fucking alcohol and just give me a Coke. So that's what he did.
Okay.
Anyway, as time passed and Margie had thrown me in Juan's sister's house or something, threw me a real nice baby shower. I mean, food. Everybody was packed into this little apartment. And I had so many gifts that, like, Elkin or somebody had to bring it in a van or whatever because there was just so much stuff.
Oh, wow. She knows how to throw
And
a party.
yeah, she does. I'll give her that. I was happy and everything was right. I mean, she was there, like I said, she was there in the hospital when everything happened with Chris, and like she had seen the baby before I did. My mom, I want to say my sister, but I don't remember if she was working there at that time. I don't think she was. 7 or 8 months old, he came down with a really bad ear infection, and they told me at that point he was off the phenobarbital for the seizures. They told me like if he gets a fever over like 101, 102, you need to bring him in because he's going to start having seizures or convulsions, whatever. So I did, and he had a really bad double inner ear infection, and they said that they were going to keep him. So I still had to go to work and everything, and I would usually leave work and go to the hospital. That particular time I had worked a double shift because the other dispatcher called out. So it was like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and my relief was coming in, and I called Margie, and I said, "Hey, do you want to come with me up to the hospital to go see the baby?" And she was like, "Yeah." She said, "Come on." And I want to say, yeah, I took a cab up there to Maple Avenue where she lived with Ruben. I don't know where Ruben was at that time. He wasn't in the house, and she didn't have any furniture in the house. She just had the pink rug. And I remember that because I sat down on the floor and I put my back against the wall because she was waiting for them to deliver that god awful furniture. But anyway, so I was really tired. I was starting to fall asleep. I mean, when you got a newborn, you don't sleep very much anyway. But working a double, I was exhausted, and she came out with the blow, and she said, "Here, this will keep you up."
Mm.
So I did a one-on-one, and only one other time, a few years before that, I had tried cocaine. But most people tell me the same thing. The first time you try it, it ain't what you think it is. Like, it doesn't, I don't know. I think I was expecting something different. But anyway,
What you was expecting?
no, I didn't know what kind of a high it was. Before that, the only thing I did was smoke weed,
Oh
drink a
no.
little bit, and sometimes we go out to this place called Forest Park and go get some angel dust. I liked angel dust.
Did it make you
We used
feel
to
like
go.
the Angel Dust was fake from the movie Friday? Or did it make you feel like that?
No, we used
Oh,
to go. My friend Donna, she used to work at Queens College in the student union, go hang out and dance and whatever. It didn't make me like these other people get all fucking weird and shit. I don't know. The only thing that's weird is like when you first get high, you feel like the ground, like you're like high. They call it high stepping because like you step up like you're climbing up on some giant thing and it's just the ground. I can't describe it. It's weird. After that, I would start going to the Shannon on Friday nights after work and going and getting a half a gram from Junior. And at that time, it was a weighed out half a gram in a fucking pyramid paper, and it was $50. So I'd get one, I'd go home, and that would be my little thing for the weekend by myself, me and my son, you know. My mother, of course, was there and all of that, but she didn't know. I was go in the bathroom, do a bump or something, and come back out. And then it got to the point where weekends started turning into weekdays. Like I'd go after work and pick something up,
mm-hmm.
or go before work and pick something up, and it just escalated, like it always does.
Mm-hmm.
That time passed when he was 5 years old, and I moved over to Belrose with her because of my father having a meltdown and trying to kill everybody with a baseball bat. And
Right, right.
that was it. And when I walked out of that house, that was the last time I saw my son.
Now,
And there
did
was
you,
38 years in between before
right,
we talked again.
between those 38 years that did you ever try to get him back or
Well, no, because I had surrendered my parental rights, and that led to them being full on adopted. And
mm,
like I told you, when I got out in 96,
mm-hmm.
in between that time when I had written him that letter, and I can't remember where they were. If they were in Florida, I want to say they were in New Smyrna
Yes, they were in New Smyrna.
at that time.
Yes.
If she called my mom or something, and well, anyway, the story was, well, I don't know why the hell you're writing to him because he doesn't have the mental capacity to understand this, and you're just making things worse. You're just making things worse. So I pulled back, you know?
Right.
Like she had already covered that end of it with him because
Mm-hmm.
she told him Alexis was still a baby. Oh, that your mother just don't want you. She has no maternal instinct and she just left. Told me this was less than 2 weeks ago. He said, "Mom, when you did that, that's the moment I started hating you. When he found out that I wasn't coming back." And I mean, I put my kids through changes. Okay, I had people next door that used to get high and everything like that, and I'd pack them up in the stroller or whatever, and I'd go over there and hang out. Anything not to be in that fucking house. Anything to be away from my stepfather who was in and out, and a couple of times actually. I left them with my girlfriend and her husband to go up to the bar to get shit. And a couple of times I didn't come back, and they would get in touch with my mother, and my mother would go get my kids. I know I fucked up. I can never, ever, ever make up for the shit my son has been through with Luisa, Margie, Barrera, Aravello, Cardona, Suarez. I can never make up to them, or well, I can't make up to Alexis. She's gone. But I want to try to move forward and get my son the help he needs, because he is lost. He doesn't know what he's doing half the time unless he stays on his medication. And it's unfortunate that he goes off and on his meds at will.
Yes.
I don't know. The goal of this is to help him, because if we can just save one person that has mental illness out there before they hurt themselves or somebody else, then we're doing something. And
Amen.
I might not have been there when it counted, but I'm here now, and I really want to help my son. I love him beyond belief, and I always have. It's just I was weak, I was broken. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do in my own life, and he didn't ask to come here. Alexis didn't ask to come here. Lorenzo didn't ask to come here. So I really just want to help him and do anything I can to bring awareness to all mental illness, because there's so much of it out here. They go from one extreme to the next. Years ago, they'd lock them away in an asylum, give them shock treatment, treat them, rape them, beat them, and all the things. And now they just roam the street. They shove a pill in their face and they send them out. Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and everything. They just stop taking their meds. They have a day when they feel fantastic, when they're in a state of mania, and they just stop. And then, once they stop and the medication starts to decrease, because most psychological medications are cumulative, they have to build in your system,
Hmm.
you know.
Yes.
So when the minute you stop and your body starts processing it and kicking it out, the psychosis is going to come right back. I want to say this: I don't hate anybody. Not one person on this planet can say that I hate them. When it comes to this is my child. This is my child that came into this world with trauma because of somebody's arrogance and disregard and mistakes. And she knew, she claimed that she loved him, buying him stuff. And her and Ruben would take him overnight sometimes so I could catch a break. And all the things, always spoiling him, bringing him nice things. And how do you go from being that person to being the person that when that child comes to you and tells you certain things about certain things that are happening to him as he spoke, and you fucking turn your back? That's what my mother did to me. She turned her back. Um, I I
You
I
want to
guess
right
I'm
now?
done. I'm okay. I just want to get help for him. I'm just
Okay.
scratching the surface, because Margie, anybody that could lose a child and somebody know about it and
Hmm.
don't have the decency I don't care how you feel about me, that was my daughter.
Hmm.
I must be something else, because if you had money, you had jewelry, you had drugs, you had power, you had all the things, but you're so threatened by this little drug addict that what kind of hatred do you have to? I don't even know why. Like, I don't know what reason I ever gave her to hate me, because she can talk about her high and mighty bullshit all she wants to, but the truth of the matter is she never told me that she wasn't going to sell me drugs or give me drugs. When I was out boosting and stealing and shit and bringing shit to her, she was paying me in drugs. No, let me take this money and help get my comadre into a program
Hmm.
to help her.
Hmm.
Not, Your Honor, just let me keep the kids for a little while until we get her straight and she gets her life together. No, It was surrender your parental rights or they're terminated. That was my option. Annie got a fucking program. I mean, Annie got offered a program. This one got offered a program, but not me. I don't know what the hell I ever did to that woman to make her that way.
Hmm.
Really hope and pray that she realizes at some point I was never the fucking enemy. Never.